Hello everybody. Today I want to show you what I call the golden pickaxe. Now this is a pigman farm. It's above the nether. As you can see, we're at the top of the bedrock right here, which should be interesting now that they've apparently fixed the ability to break through. So you're going to have to use ender pearls or whatever and make a portal back if you're going to use this above the nether. Anyway, this is a very simple design. It's an XP farm, and it also gives you gold and rotten flesh, and way more golden swords than you'd ever want. And you can get from level 0 to 30 in less than 3 minutes with this particular farm, this instance. The other ones I've built were slightly slower because this one is a double-decker. This farm is pretty resource friendly, and it actually doesn't need any redstone at all to function. It's pretty simple. You just put the blocks together and then you can use it. You can add redstone if you really want to, but you don't have to. So this is just a little house at the top where we would build from and where you can observe what's going on. So let's go take a look at what the spawn pads look like. And I should probably turn off the pigman sounds, because that's pretty obnoxious. Let's turn them down for a minute. Okay, let's go look at the spawn pads here. Now the floor is made of slabs just to save on material. The granite outline I drew first because it makes it easier. And then the fences are dark oak slabs and then dark oak fences. You really don't have to worry about anything burning up here because there's no ghasts that are going to spawn. And that's what these little brown half slabs, you can use glass too if you prefer or whatever, but these things floating in the air is also a material saving strategy because there's nowhere on this entire thing that there's a 4x4 open space. So ghasts cannot spawn up here, and you don't have to spend stacks and stacks and a lot of time just putting up all the extra material. Now this thing works really great with just this top pad is all you need. Out of curiosity, I added an additional one and put stairs so they can path all the way from anywhere on this up to the walking path. So there's two layers, and the nice thing about the lower layer is that if you add this, you don't have to gas-proof it. It's already automatically gas-proof because it's too small. So when the pigmen get mad, they come down this walkway and fall down the tube. This is pretty simple and standard design. This is obviously based on other designs that you can find on the web and on YouTube. So I've just derived mine from various design elements and put various things together, and I think this farm is pretty unique in that it doesn't require any special mechanisms to keep them angry. All the other farms I've seen, they have like weird cactus tricks, or you have to capture a pigman and name tag them and all this stuff, and yeah, no, you don't have to do that. You just stand at the Afk spot and it works. And I actually discovered this Afk spot accidentally when I was going up and down from here. I used to stand up here like everybody else did with these farms, and then I'd run down to the splat pad to pick up goodies because I was too lazy to build a redstone mechanism to pick them up. And one time on the way up and down I noticed, hey, they're really squealing a lot when I get to this point. What if I just sit here? And sure enough, I went and on an earlier, this is like my third or fourth incarnation of this farm, on an earlier one I did that. I just built a little platform, and sure enough, when I'd stand there, I could stand there for hours. I could AFK for hours at a time, and they would keep going. So I'm going to show you how this works. We'll just make a pig mad, or dead, one or the other, and they're all going to come down. And they're going to push each other. For those of you who haven't seen this design before, they just push each other down the hole and go splat. And I love the glass here because you can watch them. You can see if they're still going, etc., etc. So they're going to fall and they're going to build up a bunch of experience points. Now since this is just a single hole, you can put a hopper and an item sorter if you want to. I've done that on previous versions because it's pretty handy. Because you end up with a million golden swords and it gets really annoying. So what you can do is, and I don't have any, so I will show you a trick if you want to be able to pick up all the stuff, the flesh and the gold, without having to deal with the with all the golden swords. What you can do is get rid of these, and then fill up your inventory with this stuff. And the next time you come down here and pick things up, you won't pick up any of the swords because, well, where are they going to go, right? So this thing will actually get you from level 0 to 30. Like I said, with the double decker on here, this thing will get you from level to 0 to 30 in less than 3 minutes. It's about 60,000 XP an hour. I tend to get, it's maybe a gold block a minute, I think. I don't remember. It's a lot, though. Now you can hear them aggroing again. As soon as you come back up here, this is apparently some kind of sweet spot that they just get mad and start going nuts. And sometimes they will stop, and usually what happens when they stop is if you go up to the top, you'll find that the little chicken jockeys get stuck up there at the front because they can't be pushed. And so the chicken jockeys will pile up in the front here, and all the other ones won't be able to push them out of the way, and they'll get mad. They'll be mad, and they'll sit there and they'll push and push, and then they finally give up. So their aggro finally goes away. And sometimes it does just go away because you're screwing around, like I did. But anyway, we can go back down and see some of the other things you can do here. In this one, what we did was we built an enchant table and an anvil and everything, so you can make your enchants. You can build all your stuff and enchant it right here while you're getting your experience. And you don't have to run back and forth to get your enchants. Now here they go. If you're doing this manually like I do, and you want to know how long to wait before going down to the bottom to pick up all this stuff, because it's going to start to despawn after 5 minutes. So take a sword and throw it. When that sword despawns, those are going to start despawning too. So now you've got your very own timer. But actually with this version, I can't even do that because these things pile up so fast down there that my frame rate will drop to 1 in a matter of minutes. If I start letting it pile up beyond that, it gets up to about 500-600 and my frame rate just goes through the floor. Now the other thing you can do with this, there's all kinds of ways you can edit this and add to this and alter it. And this the design I first saw was actually a full circle, and you can do the same thing. Although I like this because I can see them all. I don't have to turn around to see what's going on. So I'd rather build multiple levels instead of a circle. But you can do it however you like. You can also, like I said, you can add multiple levels. The one thing you want to be careful about is the inner and outer radius, because if it's too far in, they won't spawn there and you're just wasting blocks putting them there. And if it's farther out than where that is, they spawn and they stand there, and then they take up your mob cap. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate this so you can see how it works. And we're going to walk up and smack a piggy. And there we go. And we'll start the timer. And they're going to start falling and everything. So now you can see how the farm works and how effective it is. So while we're waiting for this, I should mention a couple things. When you're building this, make sure to slab everything. Make sure there's no spawnable spaces anywhere other than on the actual spawning pads, because if they spawn anywhere else and can get to you, you're in trouble, especially if you're AFK. or if you get gas spawning, which is really unpleasant. I'm not sure about render distance. I've heard things about pigman farms and render distance, and if your render distance is too small, they won't spawn or something. I've never run into that, so I'm not sure if that's still relevant anymore, or if that's old news. Another thing is when you're building the platform and you're adding the gas proofing, do it as you go. Do not build the whole thing without putting the gas proofing on first, because they will start spawning 24 blocks away from you if it's not gas proof at that distance. And it's pretty unpleasant when they do that when you're not expecting it, especially if you're on just a little ledge or whatever that you're building and it's all precarious and they're shooting fireballs at you. It's pretty messy. So be sure to do that. And that half slabbing too, or glass or whatever, make no spawnable spaces, and that includes down to the bedrock, because where you're standing and where you're picking up the goodies, they can still reach, they can still spawn a little bit below the bedrock. So I usually close off anything that's just below it too, like your hole for your ladder coming up, or wherever you're coming up, because they can spawn down there sometimes, and it can be a pain to get rid of them, especially if they're still mad. So these guys are still going. It's 2 minutes is enough, and the frame rate is just horrible. There is tons and tons of experience. So I killed myself right before I started this, so I had 0 XP, and I'm flying to level 15 already. It should go up past level 30, probably level 35 or so. So, I mean, if you're up here enchanting, you enchant, you spend 2 minutes getting more experience, you enchant some more. It's really great. And they're still going. There's level 30. And it looks like I'm going to get about, what, 34? Yeah, 34. So now we can pick up all the stuff and see how much goodies we got. Look at all this other junk. And it looks like we got 2.5 stacks of nuggets, plus some ingots. And almost 2.5 stacks of flesh. So let's see how many XP we got. Here's one way to find out. And there you go, there's the numbers. So I said 60,000 earlier, it's almost 40,000. And here's the schematic. So there's where the blocks go if you want to build it yourself. And there's your template. And thanks for watching, folks.